We're back in Hollow. Well, I guess we didn't leave Hollow Bastion. We're back in Kingdom Hearts. There we go.
There's Beast.
New day, new recording session. Alex is exhausted. I'm exhausted, putting up a front of being awake to try and wake myself up.
Yeah, being in a call with two people that are like arguing,
autistically screaming at each other.
Arguing like middle schoolers is trying my very, very limited patience.
Yeah.
But now I'm here with an adult, and he can protect me.
Well, I think I don't know.
He can protect me. He will protect me. Hollow Bastion, I like this level.
I do too. This and Halloween Town, I think, are both my favorite levels in this entire game.
Yeah, they're quite good. I really enjoy this just because of like all the little puzzles and puzzle solving and stuff. I like the variety and the gimmicks. Having Beast basically protect you and shit.
Yeah. Like for the longest, well, yeah, for a while when I was a kid, this area used to confuse the hell out of me, and I'd get lost constantly. Because
I remember. Oh, go ahead.
The main reason was because I didn't understand the idea of brightness settings on my TV. So like I just could not see, and I was like, oh, am I just in darkness now? Where am I supposed to go?
What do you feel about games that use their lighting to like show difficulty? Like there are certain areas in certain games where it's like you need to get some sort of flashlight or something to progress, but you can just turn up your brightness settings and sidestep that problem altogether.
Yeah.
Like I remember we used to play Minecraft.
It's fun, but at some points you just don't want to deal with it. So yeah, like in Minecraft, I just have my brightness setting set to like 100 in the
we just
any
crank
file.
the gamma. I was just thinking about that, and I think the game that probably handles lighting the best is probably Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Because in Dark Souls the lighting isn't real. Like in Dark Souls 1, the like the catacombs, the darkness isn't actual lighting based. It's like a shadow fog that simply exists.
Yeah.
And when you use your lantern, it clears the fog out of the way. It looks like darkness, but it really isn't. It's like changing the brightness settings won't fix that because quite simply it's not something that can be changed by brightness settings.
Yep.
I haven't been to the catacombs in the remaster. I just thought about that. It'd probably be a place you want to go because one of the big points of the remaster was changing the lighting engine.
Oh yeah, you're right. I don't remember the catacombs in the remaster either. Been a while.
I remember I think I got to Kingseeker. I think I got to Kingseeker Frampt, saw what he looks like in the new lighting engine, and quit playing because he looks terrible. He looks like a fucking
wrinkled nutsack.
He looks like a pickled penis. He looks like a pickled penis.
A disgusting description of that poor creature.
Well, it's
yeah,
like
it's true.
It looks gray, like it's been soaking in brine. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, pickle pea. Go Beast!
Can't touch that pom-pom.
Hey, don't drop that pickle pea. Yeah, a bit of a fond memory of Beauty and the Beast. Not even really that fond, but it's more just a memory. When I was young, I went to a yard sale and bought a bunch of old Nintendo Power magazines. But because I had no concept of time, like I didn't understand like which consoles were out at the time because I was so behind the curve at that age. Like
Yeah.
I knew the PS2 existed and I knew the Xbox was a thing because I went to my friend's place to play Halo. But besides that, I was pretty much unaware of what other game systems were. So when I got a Nintendo Power, I was like looking at it and I'm like, wow, the Virtual Boy, I'm so excited. I hope that comes out one day because it was the old Nintendo Power leading up to the release of the Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
Now that had already come and gone and failed, so I didn't know, you know? Because I had no way of knowing because I had no internet or anything. But one of the games I remember them showing off was the either the Super Nintendo or the NES version of Beauty and the Beast. And I remember thinking that looked super cool. Like, I love the dark aesthetic. 'Cause you played as the Beast the entire game and, like, fight monsters and stuff.
Nice.
And I really like that dark, gothic look it had. And I never followed up on it. So it just exists in my memories. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, I don't know. Some of those Disney games are fantastic.
I haven't seen an AVGN episode on it, so I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, the Lion King game's good.
Yeah.
I mean, A lot of those old Disney, NES, and Super Nintendo games were developed by Capcom. They did a really good job with it.
Yeah. They did a good job on a lot of things back then, though.
Ow.
What's up?
Yeah,
You're hurting yourself again.
Cramp in my neck.
You
Yeah,
hurt yourself today to see if you still feel.
focus on the pain. The only thing. You know, like apparently that song's on Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Anyhow, just wanted to ruin that for you a bit.
Nothing can ruin Johnny Cash's hurt.
Trent Reznor can.
Honestly, I was listening to a lot of Nine Inch Nails, and I listened to that on repeat a lot. And
Before we piss somebody,
more.
before we piss somebody off, we know that Nine Inch Nails did it first. Don't worry, I was just fucking with them.
And honestly, I kind of like the Nine Inch Nails version more than the Johnny
Dude,
Cash.
I've actually never listened to it. I've only listened to the Johnny Cash version.
Yeah. It's a lot more grungy and gross sounding, which I enjoy, because that's a lot of Nine Inch Nails music in general.
Yeah. What was I? Oh yeah, I was going to talk about DuckTales. DuckTales is a great NES game. I really enjoyed that when I was young. Woo! I also really enjoyed the DuckTales cartoon when I was younger. It was just fun and adventurous.
I never watched it.
I don't know why there hasn't been a DuckTales level in this game.
Good question.
I mean, like Scrooge, Huey,
in
Dewey,
the second
Louie.
game, so
Yeah, are all in the game. He's just trying to invent ice cream. It'd be nice to have a DuckTales level.
also
David-
Scrooge and Birth by Sleep as well.
Yeah, yes. It'd be nice to have him like a Darkwing Duck level.
Yeah.
Which I've on several occasions accidentally called it Dickwing Dark.
Nice. What's wrong?
I'm just I'm like searching my memories because I remember Duck Dodgers. Do you remember that? Like Daffy Duck became like this. Like there was like a little side thing on Looney Tunes where Daffy Duck was like a space explorer. You don't remember? Do you remember that? Remember?
No, I don't. Wouldn't that be just a giant ripoff of Buck Rogers?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when my grandpa brought Buck Rogers, I'm like, "You mean Duck Dodgers?" And he's like, "No, absolutely not."
Yeah, I know Buck Rogers, but not Duck Dodgers.
I want Maleficent to step on me.
Oh,
Just
Can
kidding.
we like ever go any part of this series with
what is it with-
saying
yeah, what is it with
Maleficent
us?
where we refer to her as a Dami Mommy?
Like, what is it with us and our weird Maleficent? But like, she's like the most unsexualized character ever.
I think that
Like-
also helps because she's not sexualized.
Like, she's got fucking Bayonetta proportions without showing. Like, she's like a fucking alien. Like, if you were to take her clothes off, she would look hideous.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
She's like 8 feet tall with a long ass neck and a bulbous head.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
That's just my type, though. No, I'm kidding.
Well, by the way, if you ever watch a Disney movie and felt as though any of the princesses animated weird, that's because
Well, you can.
there was a ruling,
No,
not really a ruling, but a
The
rule
darkness will destroy
with
you.
drawing
You're wrong,
Disney princess
Riku.
characters is
The
that
darkness may
they
destroy
couldn't
my
look
body,
hideous in any
but it
frames.
can't touch my heart.
They have to always
My heart will
be
stay with my
presentable
friends.
in every frame
never
of
die.
animation.
Really?
Meaning they animate
see
weird because
about
you can't squash and stretch, which is a kind of a cornerstone of animation, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I'm sitting here laughing under my
You betray
breath
your
to
king?
this cringy ass shit that's going on screen.
Actually, really like this scene.
I do too.
Betray Sora either. You're the man, Goofy.
Nah, I'm referring to the cringy ass shit that's coming out of Riku's mouth about the darkness. And Sora's,
Yeah.
my heart is my power.
I like how Sora, I kind of like, I don't know, it's presented weird, but it's obvious that Riku's just kind of given up.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
he just
mean-
wants to,
Well, right now he's being controlled by
Thanks a lot,
Ansem though, so
Goofy.
is he?
yeah. At this
How will
point,
you
he
fight
kind of took
without a
Ansem
weapon?
into himself.
I know now I don't need the Keyblade. I've got a better weapon. My
I think his
heart.
voice changes, doesn't it? To show him that he's being
Your
controlled.
heart? What good will that
Like,
weak little thing
he's
do?
got the
Oh
power
yeah,
that
maybe
Ant-
he's not now.
Although my
No,
heart
he's-
may
No,
be
he's
weak,
not.
It's not alone.
Cause like yeah,
It's
there's a
grown with
warble
each new
to his voice.
experience, and it's
Like
starting to
Yeah,
it's
when he-
hold all the friends I've
overlaid
made.
with like Ansem
I've
and
become
Riku's
part of
voice
their
are
heart
overlaid
just
on
as
each
they've
other
become a part of
with like
mine.
a weird
Yeah.
And if they
warble
think of
effect.
me now
And
and
he's
then,
also
if they
wielding
don't
Dark
forget
Heart
me,
during that scene.
then our hearts will be one.
But yeah, Riku's
I don't need a weapon.
like
My
My
friends,
friends
are
are my power.
kind of given up on trying to save his friends and just retreated inwards.
Yeah. So get fucked, Riku. You may have been the chosen Keyblade wielder, but nah. You fucked up and let the darkness take you.
It's imprisoning you. All that
All
you
that
see.
all that you see, absolutely.
I cannot live.
But
die to myself. Why do I hold instead?
yeah, I love that when we learned that Riku was supposed to have gotten the Keyblade initially and that Sora wasn't supposed to get this.
Yeah. I think the idea is that because of Sora's natural connection to his friends, like Riku's friendship with Sora and Kairi is interesting because they kind of exist to validate him.
Yeah.
He depends on them. However, they mainly exist. Like he wants to help them, he protects them, he takes care of them. He's kind of the caretaker on the island, but they exist to validate him. They're there to make him feel good about himself, and because he has that relationship with them, I believe, in my assumption that Nomura is a way better writer than he is, that because of that, the friendship isn't quite pure. Whereas Sora and Riku, on the other hand, Sora genuinely loves Riku and Kairi.
Yeah.
Especially Riku. We'll get to that later. Because his friendship with him is so pure, the power that he naturally gains from that friendship is recognized by the Keyblade, and it's why the Keyblade chooses him over Riku.
Yeah.
Quite literally, my friends are my power.
Yep. I feel bad for Sora in the later games, though. They beat him so fucking far down. It's not even. It is not even funny.
That's my favorite thing about Sora in Dream Drop Distance is he doesn't care. He's just
Yeah.
happy to see his friends succeed.
Yeah.
Like that was really nice, and that shows how kind-hearted he is.
Yeah.
And that's what gives him power. That's why people come to him, is because he's completely open. There's no selfishness. Like Sora is like probably one of the least selfish characters I've seen in anything.
Yeah.
He is there for other people. Hence why that's why people kind of not really use him, but like I think it's a common thing where it's like his heart is basically a refuge for those who are lost.
Yeah.
Because it's completely natural for people to be drawn to Sora because of his absolute kindness.
Yep. Like,
And anyone who is upset at Sora or detests him has their own problems that stop them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, like there's multiple characters whose hearts are in Sora, and it's just because they're drawn to his light, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
I think that's actually what it's described as being drawn to his light.
Yeah. That's one of the things about Kingdom Hearts you gotta kind of have to learn to do, is interpret the really weird literal Japanese writing.
Yeah.
Taking something that should be like philosophical made very literal, like darkness, for example.
Yeah.
Like the idea of a dark heart or a heart of darkness or darkness as a whole in literature is very clear, but it's normally not used in a literal sense, you know?
Yeah.
Like the dark side of the Force in Star Wars isn't literal darkness. It's just the use of the Force in evil ways.
Yep.
That causes you to indulge in your emotions. Into your darker desires, you know? It's just an interpretation of something that simply exists. In Kingdom Hearts, the darkness is a fucking thing, and it wants to kick your ass.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like Dark Souls. Dark Souls is the same way, where like the abyss or the darkness.
It's always it's ever encroaching.
It's a literal, all-consuming entity of atrophy.
Yeah.
And that game's all about deciding between prolonging a labored, painful existence or embracing a painless nothingness.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what life's about. In a dark, fucked up way. Oh, yeah, this is why I don't get invited to parties. Because Like, people are like, yeah, party, party, and I'm like, what is humanity even? Like, what is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. And they're like, what? And I'm like, but enough talk. Have it, you, and I throw myself up on the floor.
I fucking love that game.
What is a man? I don't care, I'll get a new cup.
Yeah, we get to play librarian. Woo.
Yay! I did community service at a library once. That shit sucked. I never want to work at a library.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
It was really, really awful. I didn't have any fun whatsoever. I'd love to work at a bookstore, though. I'd love to work at, like, Barnes & Noble or Chapters.
Yeah.
But that's because I love Barnes & Noble. It's, like, one of my favorite places. I don't even read that much, but it's just... It nails the atmosphere of a place that you can just relax and read at.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, if you go to the Starbucks in Barnes & Noble and use the promo code 6catsgaming, you can get half off a frappe.
Stop lying.
That's not
I
true at all.
wish.
And also, they don't sell frappes there. That's McDonald's thing. I'm a terrible brand.
Come on, Starbucks. Where's our sponsor?
I'm a terrible
Love your
brand
coffee.
ambassador. I'll be real with you. I really like Starbucks.
You're good
Then again,
coffee.
I have no standards for coffee. I've
Yeah.
had people tell me the coffee is shit, but I'm like, I don't know.
Usually
man.
then, that's just coffee snobs.
I order the sweet drink. The drink is sweet, and then the caffeine go, and I wake up, and I
Yeah.
eat a bagel. I eat a bagel, and it's really good. And then I read a comic book.
Yeah.
I think last time I went to Starbucks, I read Batman: The Long Halloween, which is a really, really good Batman comic.
Nice.
I could talk for hours about Batman comics, to be honest.
You could.
Um,
Ridiculous.
I should start reading the Kingdom Hearts manga though.
It's good, actually. I suggest it.
I specifically want to read the 358 manga because there's a bunch of really, really good scenes from that manga.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed 358's story. But we'll get to that later.
Yep.
You weren't kidding with the playing librarian thing, were you?
No, I got lost
Well-
and forgot where the fucking book went.
Shit.
But I'll find it here in a moment. There it goes. Or there it is. Yeah, I don't know why they decided to add this as a puzzle, because it's not very much of a puzzle. It's just collect these books and then put them in the spot, and then go collect the books that you can collect now by moving the bookcase that revealed another book.
Mm-hmm. What are the books? I probably should have focused on what the books are called.
I don't think it's anything that pertains to the story. I think it's just a bunch of random names, potentially. I'm not sure.
I do enjoy how certain levels in Kingdom Hearts 2 are just like solve some puzzles.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the things that kind of stops happening in the future, where levels become more and more combat oriented. And to be fair, that's
I
what
wish,
the game's about.
I wish the end of the episode didn't have to happen either. But thank you for watching.